Have you ever felt like God went silent? Like you were praying, but the ceiling felt closed? Like you were crying, but heaven felt quiet? Maybe you wouldn't say it out loud, but somewhere deep inside, you've wondered, did God leave me? Maybe it was after the breakup, after the diagnosis, after the betrayal, after the prayer that went unanswered. You trusted him. You believed. You tried to stay faithful. And yet, here you are, still hurting, still waiting, still confused. Let me tell you something gently. Silence is not abandonment. Just because God feels quiet does not mean he is gone. There is a difference between absence and invisibility. Sometimes God is not absent. God is just unseen. Think about the sun. On a cloudy day, you don't see it, but you never assume it stopped existing. The clouds don't erase the sun. They only block your view. And sometimes pain is like that. Grief can cloud your vision. Anxiety can cloud your vision. Disappointment can cloud your vision. But clouds are not proof of absence. They are proof that something is happening in the atmosphere. And even when you cannot feel him, God is still working. There are seasons in the Bible where people felt exactly like this. David wrote, "How long, O Lord? Will you forget me forever?" Even he felt forgotten. But here's what's powerful. David didn't walk away. He talked to God about feeling abandoned. And that is faith. Faith is not pretending everything feels good. Faith is staying in conversation when it doesn't. If you are still praying, even weak prayers, God has not left you. If you are still listening for him, even in silence, God has not left you. If you are still watching this video because a part of you hopes he's near, God has not left you. Sometimes we expect God's presence to feel dramatic, like lightning, like fire, like a voice shaking the room. But often, his presence feels like quiet strength, like breath in your lungs, like the fact that you didn't quit, like the fact that you're still here. You may not feel victorious, but you survived something you thought would break you. That is not accidental. There is a verse that says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted." Close, not distant, not observing from far away. Close. Sometimes God is closest when we feel him the least, because pain makes us sensitive, and silence makes us search. And in the searching, something deepens. You might not have the answers you wanted. You might not see the outcome you prayed for. But God's silence is not rejection. It may be protection. It may be preparation. It may be a season where roots are growing deeper underground. Roots grow in the dark. You don't see them forming. You don't hear them stretching. But they are strengthening what is above the surface. What if this quiet season is strengthening you? What if the waiting is anchoring you? What if the silence is building something that noise never could? And let me say this clearly. If God wanted to leave you, he wouldn't have sent this reminder. If God had abandoned you, you wouldn't still feel conviction. You wouldn't still feel longing. You wouldn't still care. The very ache you feel is proof of connection, because you don't ache for someone you don't love. And God does not walk away from his daughters, even when you question him, even when you doubt, even when you're tired, even when you're disappointed, even when you're angry. He stays. He stayed when Peter denied him. He stayed when Thomas doubted him. He stayed when the disciples ran. And he is staying with you, right now, in your quiet room, in your uncertainty, in your I don't know what's next. You may feel alone, but feelings are not facts, and God's presence is not dependent on your emotional clarity. He is steady, even when you are not. He is near, even when you feel distant. He is faithful, even when your faith feels fragile. And maybe today, you don't need a breakthrough. Maybe you just need reassurance. So hear this. God has not left you. He has not forgotten you. He has not changed his mind about you. You are not being punished. You are not overlooked. You are not unseen. If the door hasn't opened yet, if the healing hasn't come yet, if the clarity hasn't arrived yet, that does not mean he left. It may simply mean the story isn't finished, and you are still in it. So tonight, instead of asking, "Where did God go?" maybe whisper this instead. God, help me see you here, because he is, in the waiting, in the uncertainty, in the tears, in the strength you didn't know you had. God has not left you, and he is not starting now.